Yo, what is up, folks? This is Johnny Bnq coming back at you with another episode of the Bnq and Goof show. We got a lot to talk about today. First and foremost, the Eagles are going for the number one seed in the playoffs today against the Giants. They'll clinch it with a win. Jalen Hurts is supposed to be playing today. Apparently, that is official as of right now, as far as I know. He will be starting today's game, and the Giants will not be starting Daniel Jones. They'll be starting their backup, David Webb, I believe his name is. It doesn't really matter what his name is. But, there's not really a lot to play for the Giants. They don't really have a big, horse in the fight, I guess. Their playoff position is pretty much already set in stone, more or less. So it's really the Eagles that are the only team that has something to play for here. So, I think I would expect the Eagles to win this game I don't want to say there's never an easy game, but, I should very well expect the Eagles to win this game pretty well. Now, the spread on the game is set for minus 16.5, I think, so I'm in the Eagles' favor, obviously. And they did win by 20 plus points last time, 26 points last time, so it stands to reason that they could probably pull off something like that again today. But, I don't really think they're going to go, pedal to the metal to the pedal. I don't think they're going to go that hard today. Considering all they got to do is get the win. I think that they're pretty much going to try to, take as big a lead as they can as early as possible. And then, try to coast at the end of the game. Maybe pull some starters if it starts looking like, the game's well in hand. Hopefully, it goes as smoothly as that. You never know, but I think I wouldn't take the spread today. Just because I'm not sure that they're going to be, exceptionally, determined to, blow out the Giants today. I think they're going to be trying to just look for an easy, clean, no injury, win. Hopefully, hopefully that's how it goes. But I think that we're pretty much, again, I don't want to say we're a lock for the 1 seed, but it's starting to look more and more likely as we get closer to the game. Hopefully Jalen's 100% healthy today. And hopefully he doesn't have to play the whole game. Hopefully, we get the job done early and, we can let him rest for the second half or something like that, But, I think, we'll still get in if we tie. We'll still get in if I think both the Cowboys and 49ers lose, because I don't think either of them lost last week. But, regardless of all that, we're still looking forward to the game today. Obviously the past 2 weeks haven't been too good for us, considering Jalen's been out. A couple other guys are out, but, there's, recently there's been some positive, information coming back about some of our injured guys, hopefully returning soon for the playoffs and being available. So, hopefully that turns out to be the case. Hopefully we get a fully healthy squad, fired up just in time for, a deep playoff run, hopefully Super Bowl, championship. But moving on, 76ers, they play at 3 o'clock today, so they'll actually start their game before the Eagles game. They're playing the Detroit Pistons, I think in Detroit. And then they're also going to be playing them tomorrow, I think. Now, Detroit is the worst team in the league, or worst team in the conference, at least. I don't know if they're worse in the league. But, so pretty much a game you'd expect to win. Of course, again, you never know. In NBA, even more than the NFL, there's a lot of, stuff that can happen in an 82-game season. But, we're looking at pretty good for the Sixers so far. They're still number 5 in the division. They're about 4 games back, so a lot of, room for growth, a lot of, not that far off from the number 1 team in the league, or in the conference again, which is the Celtics, which is, sucks, because the Celtics, I don't like them. But, Other than that, I mean, Sixers have won 7 of the last 10 games, I think. They had a pretty good win streak there for a while, kind of fell off a little bit. They lost their last game against, who was it, Chicago? So the game before that, they won against the Pelicans. I think Pelicans are, I don't know if they're a top team in the West, but they're one of the top teams in the West, I think. I don't really know the Western Conference standings off the top of my head. I think a win against New Orleans is a pretty good sign for us. I mean, we split our meetings against them 1-1, but still, it's nothing to sneeze at. So I think things are looking well for the Sixers, and I noticed Tyrese Maxey played against Chicago, and he was the leading scorer of the game. So it was good to see him back on the court. I think as he gets back and kind of, what's the word I'm looking for? Gels back into the rotation. I think things will go even better. As it goes along or whatever. So, yeah, things look good for Sixers. And, usually this is a part where I say there's nothing good to say about the Flyers, but there actually is something good to say about the Flyers. They've won 4 games in a row, so that's, promising. And they also have a game tonight against the Toronto Maple Leafs. So, which I don't know how good the Maple Leafs are. I'm not really... I don't really follow any NHL teams other than the Flyers, so I have literally no idea how good most any other team is. I only know that the Canadiens and Blue Jackets stink because they're the only teams, I believe, in the Eastern Conference that are ranked lower than the Flyers. So, yeah, even though the Flyers are on a 4-game win streak, they're still one of the, worst teams in the league record-wise. So, but again, it's positive progress, and it's still relatively early in the season, not even halfway through the season yet, so still room for positive growth for the Flyers. But, it's nice to see them at least get a couple wins in a row. Hopefully, that leads to a 40 wins in a row. Highly unlikely, but it would be nice, something like that. But, that's really all I got for the show today. Mostly just getting ready to watch that, the what's it called, the Eagles game. We've got a lot of good games today for in Philadelphia. We got, of course, the Eagles, Sixers, Flyers all play today. Most important, of course, being the Eagles game. We'll decide if we have the number 1 seed and first round bye, home field advantage. So it's real important to watch that game or, get a win in that game. But so it stinks because probably nobody's really going to watch past the first hours of the Sixer game after the Eagles game starts at about 4:30. And then after the Eagles game ends, the Flyers game will probably start about 7:00. So a full day of watching Philly sports today. Thanks for listening to the show. Before you get off here, make sure to like this video, subscribe, leave a comment maybe. Check out our other social media in the description. Follow the blog, which is where we have a lot of other stuff that we don't get to on the show every week. There's a whole lot of different stuff on there. Check out our Patreon, follow us on Twitter, blah blah blah, the whole 9 yards. Make sure to check out our merch store and buy some of our new merch. We got some cool new stuff on there. And finally, let's go Sixers. We're throwing this one in there for the first time. Let's go Flyers. And of course, go Birds and Life Rips.